super close to finishing what I call book number 3. I am currently 63,245 words into the manuscript. Also, I've just realized the spin cycle on my washing machine is just about to start. Am I going to stop? No, because this is my child-free time. I can also tell how I'm feeling typically by my appearance. You might be able to relate to that. I am wearing my late grandfather's sweatshirt. I like it. It's mildly morbid, but it's got a little ball of his hair still on here, and I hate to wash it, and I know some people are going to think that's disgusting. I started writing this book midway through February. This is the first book that I've written, so it's a small town romance like the previous two, but this is the first one I've written in dual POV. I tried to do some different things with plotting this time and be less of a plantser, and for me it just didn't work. I wrote in the wrong direction for the first 30,000 words, and the first 30k words in a manuscript for me always feels really yucky. This one felt particularly yucky, and then kind of when I got to that point I was like, I don't know where I'm going. This doesn't feel right for me, and so I had to essentially start again. But I was able to Frankenstein and keep lots of the scenes that I like, but I lost a lot of stuff that I liked as well. I've been writing a lot slower this year just because it's a really busy year, and you know, I also work in parent and homeschool and that sort of thing. So it's taken, this start of August. I feel really yucky about not having finished it yet, and I think I'm just having to sit with that. This week has been particularly tough writing wise, just like confidence wise. Got the professional edits back for book 1, and that was a lot of edit. And then also my book 2 was with beta readers, and I really love the feedback I get from beta readers. It's so important for me structurally. I got, like, when I printed it out, I think it was 8 or 9 pages of feedback for book 2, and it was all extremely good, necessary. There's some feedback that I take, you know, with a grain of salt. Everything on this one I was like, yeah, I need to change that. So it just felt like a big week of yuck. My mood and my confidence fluctuates throughout the entire manuscript. There are times where I'm really excited and I'm like, I've got this, I love what I'm writing. Just at the part of my manuscript where I feel really crappy. But that's the explanation of where I am and how I'm feeling about this manuscript. So I anticipate that I've got about 20 to 25k left to write. Now Wednesday the 13th of August, so I don't think I've been on for about a week. Can't remember if I mentioned before I'm moving house. Things are a bit chaotic right now. I would show you what it looks like, but it looks like a bomb of boxes has gone off here. So my writing routine is a bit different than normal. At the moment I'm just doing my 5 a.m. write, which is when I just wake up at 5 a.m. and I write until I hit 1,000 words or until 6:30 a.m. whichever comes first. Usually it's the 1,000 words. I've learned that I can write through most things. My capacity just reduces, so I'm just being a bit more gentle on myself this week, and I'm saving my daytimes for packing, cleaning, all of the above. This morning we just hit, let me double check the exact number. So we just hit 70,029 words. I'm so pleased to crack the 70k. So I wrote my 1,000 words this morning, and obviously I wasn't going to do any more, but I had a tiny bit of time between this appointment and I couldn't really get in the flow of cleaning and stuff, so I wrote instead. I was right at the end of a dark moment scene in Act 3, I really wanted to get the chapter done, and kind of, it was like the vibe was already there, so it was reasonably easy to write. I still think I've got about at least 10,000 to get this story finished, but we're getting closer, a step at a time. I'm feeling excited about it today, so I want to plug that, because it's easy for me to get caught up in the, oh my god, I've been writing this book for 7 months, and I'm just gonna say, look, we're finishing it a step at a time, and maybe I can't see the whole ending, but I can see the next step, and that's all I have to be able to see is the next step, what's in front of me, and then just keep trusting that I can make that entire journey just of next steps, and we will get to the finish line. I also wanted to show you, I ordered a few craft books this week. Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. I don't know if that's how hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really enjoying this. This reminds me vibe-wise of Stephen King's On Writing. It's got that kind of like casual craft advice while being semi-memoirish and funny. The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield, Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles. I've heard about this in a couple of podcasts, and I kind of just like, it kind of, I don't know if it is, but it kind of gives me the vibe of Big Magic, like as in Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which is another book I also love about creativity. What I've heard about this gives me the vibe of that, as in like, you know, in creativity being sort of something, kind of an energy outside you that channels through blah blah blah. This sounds like my vibe. Last one, Funny Up Your Fiction by Dave Cohen. I heard a podcast interview with this guy last year. His vibe was very like sitcom-y humor, and I love that kind. I love sitcoms, love that kind of humor, so I really wanted to read it. I'll update you when I've got more to share. Probably it will be in the new house because I move in, I have to count on my fingers because that's what happens when you're 37 and you're a big girl now. I move in 3 days, so you'll probably hear from me in a new type of chaos. Oh my god, it's freezing. But I'm just saying, I know that like the ice winter has kicked in here, but Northern Hemisphere, we are coming for your summer. We're coming for it, because there's flowers growing on trees and leaves growing on trees, and that tells me that the warm weather is coming. New house. It's been a little bit chaotic, but for reference, it is Wednesday the 20th of August, so the word count is currently 72,926, so like ridiculously close to 73,000. Writing last week, like in the prepping to move era, was surprisingly easy. I was just doing my 5 a.m. 1,000-word writes, and it was great, and I was like, oh well, I'm so like, I thought my capacity would be reduced because of moving, and I'm amazing, cool, I'll do even more next week because I'll actually be moved. And now that I'm here, what are we, so we're Wednesday, and yeah, so my capacity is just super, it's very hard to write this week. I have this like running thing with the lady at the cafe that I write at, where she creates the bagels and then I eat the bagels, and then I get mad at her for creating the bagels and make her stop, because if she makes them, I'm then going to eat the bagels, and I get a really sore stomach because my body cannot digest bagels very well. And so she stops, and then I get mad at her for stopping making the bagels. It's a vicious cycle. I'm lucky she doesn't kick me out. Today when I was writing in the cafe, I couldn't even, I'm like, so I've essentially written through the dark moment in Act 3 for my couple, and yeah, I kind of need to get on with like the closing the threads on like the subplots and that sort of thing, and there was zero inspiration, zero starts of scenes or sounds of scenes or anything coming through today. It's annoying because, you know, I have a word count goal for this week, but also I can understand that everything's like, I guess, energetically hit now that I've moved, and it's like I'm in a new place and I've been unpacking all week and have PMS. I don't know about you guys, but that gets me. I think I often feel like the story is going on in my head all the time while I'm living life, and then I kind of feel with this one it's not, which is hard. I've talked about how my vibe changes throughout the manuscript, and I'm at a point now where I'm like, oh yeah, like this is a good story again, like this feels good, there's some interesting stuff that happens, and I really like this couple, and that sort of thing. I think this could be an entertaining read, this could be a nice escape, so I'm in a good positive zone. Read that. So wish me luck. Get this. You've got this if you're working on yours, and we'll get there. Just one step at a time. It is 3:20 a.m. on Monday. This is what happens when I wake up solidly at 3 a.m. and know I have to write at 5, is I just open the manuscript and do my 5 a.m. write early in the hope that I don't waste a lot of time not being able to get back to sleep, and I write instead, and then hopefully I can go back to sleep at 5. It feels very anticlimactic to be finished. It's Tuesday the 27th of August. I finished book 3 yesterday. Finished at 77k, so there's definitely an underwrite for a first draft for me, but I always underwrite. That's just me. It's more often like scenes that need to be fleshed out a bit more once I've lost steam at the end. So because this one felt like it took so long, I don't know, maybe I was expecting to feel different. When I finished writing book 1, I felt bittersweet, like proud of myself for finishing something that I tried, but sad that it was over. I'm pretty sure I cried. And then book 2, I think I felt happy when it ended and proud. And book 3, I feel, I'm not even sure what I feel. I feel like, whoa, I feel dazed. That's probably the word. Like, I feel dazed that it's done. So I'm aware that I'm wearing the same outfit as I was last week when I was vlogging. I can't help it. It's one of my favorite warm outfits. So let's just not comment on it, okay? Also, I went to the cafe that I write at today, Force of Habit, because what was I writing? Nothing. I was just planning my goals for the rest of the year. And there were bagels today, and I got in there and she said, you can't have a bagel. I think what I was thinking of, and kind of what I've been thinking about mostly today, is that a year and a half ago, I decided to switch from pursuing trad publishing and doing children's books to pursuing indie publishing and pursuing writing contemporary romance. And I always had a goal that I wanted to write 3 books before I started publishing them. It was just the goal that I had. I always planned to do some kind of like rapid release for them, although I don't so much now, unless you count 3 months apart, a rapid release. I wrote my first book. I started writing it in March 2024 last year, and it was just to see if I could do it. Could I write a book for adults, a novel length book? And I did it, and I was like, cool, okay, well, let's see if I can do that again. And I did, and cool, well, let's see if that was a fluke, and I'll do it again. And I just did. And I think the thing that I'm kind of like basking in the most is the fact that I set this goal that seemed absolutely impossible at the time, that I was going to write 3 books before I started publishing. And I'm just reflecting on the fact I did it, and I'm tired. There's not been a time in the last year and a half that I haven't been either planning, editing, or writing, and I'm tired. I think that's another dominant feeling right now. I'm really tired and I want to break. I've just been reflecting, and I'm like, you know what? I've got nothing left in the tank right now. I feel like a car that's been running out of gas, and and it let me finish, but now I need a break. In my head, I'm like, maybe give yourself till the end of the year and just focus on edits, and because my first book comes out in December, and so perhaps now my focus is going to shift to what I need to do for releases coming up. Like I've got covers done and blurbs written, but it's just like all the background stuff, like making sure my website's finished, getting comfortable with social media content and scheduling that, because I'm not someone that likes to be on it at all. So I'm not going to be someone that's going to want to be on it every day. So just getting comfortable with that kind of stuff, and sure, planning my next book, but maybe not actually writing that until January next year. Who knows? I don't know. That's how I feel at the moment. I'm just going to see how I go. At the end of every book, I'm just going to fold it because it's got the title up the top. I end up with something like this. So these are notes I start making to myself about things that I want to edit or add or take out when I do the second draft. So you can see it ends up pretty messy. If you see any of that, it won't make sense anyway. Thank you for watching this vlog with, thanks for coming along with me. The end of this book felt really hard, and kind of vlogging it and like updating you guys was helpful, I think, for that. And yeah, even though I'm tired and I think I'm a bit in shock, most of all, I'm feeling really grateful and really proud of myself. A year and a half ago, I set a goal to write 3 books, not knowing how long it would take, but just setting out to see if I could do it. And I did it. And I'm just really proud of that. It feels like one of the biggest achievements that I've done in my life, besides parenting and maybe my degree. Who knows? But it's up there, So I just feel really proud, and I just want to let myself sit in that and acknowledge that achievement and not just let it slip by. When I started this, I was deep in grief. I just lost my lovely best friend doggy. I'd had her since I was 20. I'd had her for 15 years. We grew up together effectively. So just lost her. My lovely tiny human had just lost one of her friends, which absolutely turned the community upside down, because that should never happen. And we were all grieving. And my grandfather was in his late stages of life, and passed away in my first couple of months of writing. And then my lovely sister, one of my lovely sisters, had a few strokes, and it was just a very grief heavy time. And I was so grateful to have these books. They really held me steady, to include my lovely dog in 2 of my books because I wasn't ready to let her go yet. And you know, I think just creativity in books can be really special like that. So what I'm feeling, besides exhaustion, is gratitude, and very deep, deep gratitude and pride. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the space to share this and for being with me. I plan to share more of my writing process as I start to release my books in December this year. So if you want to follow along with that, it'll just be vlogs in a similar chatty style like this. Nothing too flashy. I don't know how to use cameras and editing and all of that too super well. If this was your vibe, if you liked it, feel free to like, subscribe, or comment. If you're working on something, or if you are just, you know, if you've got something that you're sitting in some gratitude for, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Like, if you want to share it, share it. I'd love to hear about your work. I would love to hear about what you feel grateful for. I'd love to hear about what creativity has given you, or what your books, or what books have given you. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Vlog? I had to like finish that on an awkward comment, didn't I?